So today I went on my main account to give some bonds to my Iron Man so that I can unlock an additional preset, and I want to talk about my main actually for those of you that were interested in the history of this account. This is mostly going to be a talking video and a bit of screenshots of my main. But anyways, I started this account off in around 2005 when I was in elementary school, and it's my first ever RiceCup account, and I played on this account mainly before my Iron Man. I was not a member until probably a year later in late 2006. By the time I got members, I was already 86 combat. That's pretty high. The first thing I remember doing as a member was getting that sexy ass dragon longsword and heading over to Castle Wars to slay some noobs. My friend brought me there. It was so fun using the D-Long spec, and I was hitting 27s. Like, I couldn't even hit past 20 on free to play. Yeah, I was just wrecking low level players there. It was fun. My first 99 on this account was ranged, and I got it in around 2007, I believe. Throughout the years, I made a lot of cool friends, and I still know some of them to this day, which is really amazing if you think about it. I developed long-lasting friendships that is almost 10 years old through an online game. But I've also met a few friends that I trusted maybe a little too much, and I've had a few instances where I kind of got scammed for my stuff by trusted friends. I remember my old friend by the name of Chris Hova. I don't know if some of you guys know him, but anyways, this guy was like an inspiration, man. He was max combat back when it was pretty rare to see a level 126, and he actually brought me to God Wars in the actual 2007, and that allowed me to make a lot of cash, and I was able to buy things I always dreamed of, like full bandos. Yeah, back then it was like 100 mil or something for the full set, so it was pretty damn expensive. So I trusted this dude a lot, and eventually I gave him my account detail. Long story short, in retrospect, that was obviously a huge mistake to give your info out, and definitely don't give out your info to anybody, guys. But back to the story. This dude who I trusted a lot logged into my account one day, and he traded all my valuable gear like bandos and god swords for his purple party hat. So I logged in one day to find out that my shit was gone, and it was so empty, and then all of a sudden there was this random ass purple party hat in my bank, and that's when I knew that shit, Chris hacked me. Alright, you guys must be saying that isn't even bad, you know, it's a freaking party hat and they're like max cash now, but this was during the time when free trade was moved, so it was a long time ago, and the purple party hat at that time was really only worth 100 mil, and it was really hard to even sell it for 100 mil because the grand exchange value back then was 200 mil, and because of the trade limit you couldn't trade a 200 mil item for 100 mil coins because it would say it's not fair. So yeah, for a very long time I just couldn't sell it, and I couldn't buy anything because I had no cash. So I believe that Chris did that because he couldn't sell his party out for 200 mil. I think he wanted the money to get 99 construction or something, and he decided to swap 200 mil my stuff, which was easily sellable, for 200 mil, so they can get an easy 200 mil for that skill. I couldn't even afford a whip to start off after that, but luckily I have friends that motivated me to rebuild, and I was able to overcome that pretty easily. Eventually though, I sold the party out for like 100 mil, and I had to use like 100 mil collateral, like junk, and some were actually junk, so I lost out quite a bit trying to sell it, but it was alright. I at least got some money back. And it took a few months because it was so hard to sell for even like 50 mil or something. But anyways, I stopped playing on this guy after EOC came out, but eventually I came back to play on this guy every now and then on R3. The reason why I stopped though for a long time after EOC was because like the newly released combat system felt really sloppy, and Revolution did not exist, so you had to spam your keeper everywhere, even when doing Slayer if you wanted to use abilities. But in general, I probably would have stopped shortly after anyways, regardless of what came out, just because I played on my main account for so long that eventually all good things have to come to an end. Like, I would eventually get bored of it. And yeah, that kind of happened at the same time when DLC came out. But when Old School came out though, I immediately returned from a long break on my main account to play on that server, and it was immensely fun. It was like back in the day when I played as a kid, and that's pretty much where my main account stands today. I have 99 Slayer max combat on the Old School server. I haven't really played on my main much nowadays though, in general, because of the Iron Man. I did, however, make short-term returns to R3 on my main account a couple of times to do some new bosses. A few years back I went to do Legions, and I made my own Ascension crossbow, which I sold for I believe 285 mil, and when Raxor came out I logged back in to try out the new boss, it was really fun. So I ended up making 2 full legs, and I sold both of them for like 250 mil each. So all that money I made on this guy recently, I converted them into bonds to supply on my other accounts, and I gave a lot of them to my friends as well that were returning to RuneScape. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Will I ever make a full return on my main? I don't know, probably not for a while because I've been playing on my Iron Man accounts and it's still really fun. But I'll definitely return every now and then to make a few videos or something. But yeah, that's it guys. Thanks for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys later.